Dew, 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 dew. Welcome to PVSS News, starring,
Reporter Lauren Beekle.
featuring Dr. Walt Whitman.
Hello, and welcome to PVSS News. It is 4 o'clock, and I am reporting from Fairfax Seminary Hospital in Virginia. Today, we are here to see the expansion of hospitals around the U.S. and how medicine has improved drastically since the Civil War. Here is Walt Whitman, a volunteer nurse during the Civil War. Hello, Mr. Whitman. How are you doing?
Well, aside from the raging war outside and the millions of bodies being shipped in and out of here, I'd say it's a pretty good day here in Virginia. How about you?
It's been a great day. So today, PVSS News has made it out here to interview you and ask you some questions about your job.
Alrighty, let's get started.
First off, tell me a little bit about your past life.
Well, I was born in New York, and I was the second oldest out of 9 siblings. I was very privileged and was able to attend the school at around 11 years old. It was there that I found out about a printing press and my passion, writing. Now I've written many poems and have even published best-selling books.
So how did you end up becoming a Civil War nurse?
I was headed south to find out if my brother had died or not because he was still in the war and I thought I saw him in a newspaper. And on my way, I saw how horrible the camp conditions were and how fast diseases spread all around. And I knew that I had to help the sick and wounded in some way, so I became a nurse.
So tell us, Mr. Whitman, what is your job like?
Every day we have millions of people rushing in and out. We're doing our very best to help the sick and trying to get them back into the war.
How do people get to the hospital?
When soldiers are wounded minorly in battle, they're rushed to nearby camps where they can dress their minor cuts and wounds. While doing this, they'll get a small bandage put on it, and if anything, they'll get some medicine, but usually it's just some whiskey. If the wounds are very, very bad, then they'll have to go to a more, let's say, advanced hospital.
What methods of treatment do you use?
Well, usually we wrap the bandage around their wound and give them some whiskey, maybe a small pill. But for serious wounds, we will do methods like bloodletting, purging, blistering, and mercury.
What are the conditions of the hospitals that the wounded are located?
The condition of the hospitals is just horrific. Every day I walk in to see a heap of amputated feet, legs, arms, hands, you name it. It is very, very, very terrifying. I can barely walk through the little tents that are scattered around. I can hardly call this place a hospital.
Did you ever write about your experience in the war in one of your poetry books?
Of course I did. A lot of my poetry is centered around the war, speaking of the aftermath and what it is like to experience it.
Many months later.
Dew, 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 dew. Welcome to PVSS News, starring,
Reporter Lauren Beekle.
featuring Dr. Walt Whitman.
Hello, welcome back to PVSS News. On May 9th, 1870, today marks the 5th anniversary of the end of the Civil War, and we have a very special visitor today. He has visited before, but he is making a stop today to talk about how his hospital is doing after the medical improvements over the last few years. Come in, Walt.
Hello there. It's good to be back visiting again.
I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Alrighty, go on ahead.
There was a total number of 620,000 deaths in the Civil War. Around 2/3 of that was because of bad medical treatment. However, that was 5 years ago. We are here today to discuss how things have gotten better since then. How have hospitals around America improved since the war in terms of cleanliness?
Well, at first we had a bunch of scattered, tiny, crowded tents all together, but now we have large pavilions where we get help from many people, men and women, both. Also, we are cleaning more around our hospitals, doing things we've never done before, like washing our hands, which we used to not do before amputating soldiers.
How about your methods of treatment? How have they improved in the last 5 years?
Now, we were big believers in methods like purging, bloodletting, blistering, mercury treatments, but not anymore. They were more fatal than the disease itself. You will never see anyone performing these methods anymore.
What exactly is bloodletting or purging?
Bloodletting is draining the blood from the body in order to prevent diseases or illnesses. Purging is to remove things from the body, like blood, organs, anything from your body.
All right, well, thank you for visiting today. We hope to see you again soon.
Later, folks!
That's it for your 5 o'clock news. I am Lauren from PVSS News. Have a good night.